All right, so welcome to this QA session that we have with the Casita Copan Leadership. Here they are for your entertainment. This is going to be a space where you're going to get a little bit more knowledge about them. You're going to get to know some really in-depth questions, some not really important ones, just a little bit more fun to get to know them. We are celebrating our 10-year anniversary today, so this is part of the content that we have for you available. So we're going to start off. We're going to start off with your name and title. What do you do at Casita Copan?
So my name is Yesenia. I'm the interim director at Casita Copan. I wear a lot of hats at Casita, so I do everything from financials to operations and also fundraising.
My name is Emily. I'm the founder and executive director. I have the privilege of overseeing these two wonderful members of our leadership team, and my job is to just keep everything going and make sure we stay on track.
My name is Daisy Ramirez. I am the program director and I oversee the daily life at Casita.
Since when did you get to Copan Ruinas, or specifically to Casita Copan?
I arrived in 2010. So I originally came to teach at a bilingual school at Mayathan, and my plan was only to stay for a year, and then I ended up living for 12 years here in Copan.
Okay. And then the next person that arrived here was you, Daisy.
At Casita, of course, yeah. I came to Casita in 2013. It was actually the first year anniversary when I met Emily. It was a crazy day that day, and she told me that. She told me to come back later so we could talk.
It was Children's Day.
It was Children's Day and the celebration of your first year anniversary.
Yesenia, when did you get here to Casita?
I arrived to Casita in 2018. I came from New Jersey, and I started off as the communications and development coordinator. Mm-hmm. So I was doing the graphic design, all the photos, basically what you're doing now.
What is your favorite part, or one of your favorite things about this organization, about Casita?
I mean, my favorite thing is watching everybody grow up. And I would say that from the kids to the staff to the moms to everyone who's been part of the organization, being able to see, have that memory of seeing them 10 years ago and seeing them now is really cool. The other thing about Casita, we have lots of kids who have been part of our program for a little while, and then they go back out onto their own, back into their families, and you get to run into them here in town and see them working and see them thriving. And it's a really cool experience.
I love preschool. I love, because I've come to understand how much impact you can make at that age, at that young age. So I love going up there and just seeing the kids play and having so much fun, not a care in the world. They take naps and they take a shower. It's amazing. I love preschool.
First part is done. Those were the easy questions. Okay, so now we're going to move on to questions from our friends and family of Casita Copan. These are sponsors, these are donors, these are part of our Casita community. And all the way from Canada, Eric and Suzanne Hammond, sorry about the little Spanish there, they asked Emily, what was the decision that made us change from the individual child sponsorship model to the group one?
That's a really good question, and I'm glad you asked. So at Casita, we have lots of different programs, and we have kids who come into our center. Some of them stay for long periods of time, and others stay for shorter periods of time. At the end of the day, what we want to do is keep kids out of orphanages whenever possible and keep children with their families. So what was happening with the individual one-on-one is that sometimes we had these really amazing moments where kids were going back to their families, which is a positive change, but then we would end up with sponsors who didn't have a child that they were supporting while there were still so many other kids in need. So the best way we decided to make sure that we could help as many kids as possible and to make sure that our sponsors still felt connected was to create a more collective model. So now when you sponsor, your money goes into a pool with all of our other sponsors, and that's the money that's the gravy of Casita. That's what keeps us going. That's what allows us to be able to provide these daily services, and that way we can have some kids will stay for a little, some kids will stay for a long time, but no child is ever going to be left without a sponsor.
So Eric, Suzanne, all the way from Canada, I hope that answered your question. Now from David Silva. This is a doozy. So do you want to rock, paper, scissors this one?
Let's hear the question first.
Okay,
I'm off the hook.
No,
I thought you agree.
Okay,
we'll do
wait.
it.
Rock, paper, scissors. One, two. Okay. Rock,
paper.
paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3. Rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3.
So you're answering this one. Yeah. I feel so sorry for you. I'm so sorry.
What, you're making me nervous.
So, from David Silva, this is not my question, this is from David Silva. What kind of social problems do you see in Copan, and how do you see like a resolution to it?
Big question.
Yes, that's a huge question. We're gonna have to cut my thinking, cut the thinking. So one of the biggest issues that I've seen so far living in Copan, it's a lot of sexual exploitation and a lot of human trafficking that happens here. There's not a lot of authority, there's not a lot of persecution. And so in Casita, we're working on a sexual education program that Daisy is running, and she's teaching our kids about sex ed. She's teaching them about consent and all of this stuff. So I feel like that's our contribution to this big, larger issue.
So, Daisy, still from David Silva, shout out to David Silva. What does, and it feels natural because you're a Honduran, and he asks, what does your dream of Honduras look like?
Oh my God. That's a really good question. Oh, the first thing that came to mind was no violence, and in general, not only towards women, but towards everyone, because we are such a violent community. Even you can even see it on your everyday relationships with everyone. Everyone has suffered from that mistreat. Is that the word? Yeah, people here just mistreat each other. And it's part of the culture, and that's something I guess that if we go to that problem, to that specific thing, the violence, it could solve many other issues that are going around.
So, speed round questions.
All right.
This is the speed round. Okay. Pizza, with or without pineapple?
Without.
Without.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Consensus.
Yes.
Go on, Scram! Go! I hate you, go! Go back to your kind!
Dogs or cats?
Definitely
Dogs.
Dogs.
Oh,
for
okay.
sure. Yes.
Another consensus. Wow. Hot or cold showers?
Oh, hot, definitely. Hot.
Hot.
Depends on the day,
Even when it's hot outside.
Me too. I'm hot shower.
Yeah. No, it depends.
Even with the electricity bill.
Even when there's no power. So how do you do when there's no power in Copan? Suck it up or no shower?
It depends how many days it is without
No
power.
showers.
One day.
Showers.
We're gonna cut that one out. So have you ever written a song or a poem to someone?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, no.
So, would you go back to change that or?
And I recited the poem.
You
like a spoken
did.
word.
Like a spoken. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just any other poet.
No, you can't go back and change that. What's done is done.
Okay.
That is done.
Who is your hero or personal hero? Any favorite one that stands out?
Is it cheesy to say my mom and my sister?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
It's,
feel like
it's
those
cheesy, but it's valid. It's a valid answer. It's
are,
true.
okay, those are my favorite.
I would also say these ladies right here that have, inspired me to take the next steps and watch Casita grow and watch Casita expand, and they're both doing an amazing job.
So now we have a little bit of a game. So grab this, grab that, and grab that, please. Now the object of the game is to point out at the person who fits the answer to the question. That person can be yourself.
Okay.
So, okay. From this group, who does the most talking?
It's me?
Oh, that's
Between.
I don't know who to point at.
Tiebreaker.
Can I be a tiebreaker?
Tiebreaker.
Okay.
I do talk a lot.
Who was most likely the emo kid at school?
The emo.
Yeah.
For sure.
How do you feel about that?
I was.
She accepts it, yeah.
I accept it.
So a lot of Blink 182, a lot of
Yeah,
Linkin
with-
Park,
with the,
and
with the black
Really?
eye over my eye.
wow. We're gonna
Skulls.
put a photo of that.
You should get a picture of
We
that,
need some
yes.
footage of that, yes, for sure.
Just the
Black
space.
eyeliner.
Yeah, okay. So who was most likely the popular one in school? with pride.
Yes,
she
yes,
says.
pride.
Yes.
All right. Who was the artistic one?
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, by default, right?
Who dances the best?
Definitely.
None of us does.
She, yeah, representando.
Yes.
Sí.
You are left alone on a jungle. Who survives the longest?
You think? All right, fine.
Yes.
You
You wouldn't freak out?
Stuff.
You wouldn't freak out. I would just freak out.
I know, I feel like you'll build yourself a
I
shelter.
can build a house.
Yeah, I can build a house.
You could build a house. Yeah.
You know a lot of construction stuff.
All right, okay.
Yes. Keep
But let's
yourself
hope
alive.
that doesn't happen. I don't know.
I liked that question.
Okay. And of you three, which one would make the best spy?
This one for sure.
The best one.
You would never see her coming.
Yeah.
The best
Spy.
Spy.
Yeah.
Like this James
Yeah.
Bond.
I
You
talk
would
too
never.
much.
All right. So, what do you feel should be the message overall for our sponsors, our donors, anybody who's watching to close up this video? What do you want to say?
Just thank you so much for being here for these 10 years. You know, when we first started, we had no idea that we were going to get through the first year. And then now we're here 10 years later. We've changed a lot, we've learned a lot, and we want to use all of that information to do better. And we hope you stay with us. We hope you continue to follow us and see what we're doing, because we couldn't do it without you.
And just to kind of reiterate what Emily says, like, thanks to you, we were able to accomplish so much, especially within the last 2 years. We accomplished buying our own property, and now we're all moved in. So we're really excited about what's coming and for the next 10 years.
Yeah, and thank you so much. We have a lot of plans and ideas for Casita, so with your help, we are going to be able to do it. So thank you.
So I want to thank all you three for your time. You've been lovely. This this was the QA session with the leadership of Casita Copan. Thank you for watching. We'll have a bunch more content for you guys available throughout our page. So check in throughout the day, and you'll see just a lot of more about our organization, about our kids, and a little bit more about our staff as well. Also remember that if you do want to help out with our 10-year campaign, remember that there's a little itty bitty or big, I don't know, maybe it's big button up there. So like up there where you can join our 10-year anniversary campaign. And remember that any help we receive from you guys is of great use for our children, for our staff, to deliver quality childcare to the women and children of Copan Ruinas. We love you guys. We thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for 10 years, and just keep tuned for much, much more throughout the day. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
This was great, Mario. Yes.